mainstream media and stuff, they make Joe Rogan seem like all he has are lunatics on his show and stuff.
Yeah,
And I guess this guest proves that he
200.
had lunatics. He had General McMaster, although he's a different kind of lunatic than what the
Lunatic.
mainstream
Very
media has.
mainstream
Yeah, he's a
lunatic.
mainstream
Yes.
lunatic who's the national security advisor under Trump, of course, and apparently also a big Russia gator. So it just kind of
Yeah,
undermines
he's
the whole
famously
thing of,
hates Iran.
yeah, of course, that makes
Yeah.
sense. So, Joe Rogan on the COVID thing, I see how it's clashing and stuff. And, people are being branded purely based on their COVID opinions and views nowadays and being put in a box just on that. And it's dominating everything, which is getting kind of annoying because this interview, I watched clips of it, like, Jesus Christ, man, can Joe Rogan get anyone more mainstream? I mean, maybe him if he sat next to Hillary Clinton and
I
then
must
asked them
say, it
about
was
China and
I mean, the bit where he asked him about you're famously non-partisan, ugh, I was gonna puke really. But I wanted to put it in a bit of a narrative that you had these 200 scientists write a letter to a Spotify saying that you should take action about Joe Rogan because he's spreading misinformation and blah blah blah. And famously he had a couple of his videos pulled from
yeah.
YouTube with the doctor and stuff. But then nobody's at all writing to anybody about having General McMaster on, having completely, basically just nonsense, talking complete nonsense. But nobody is worried about that suddenly. Nobody is worried about misinformation, which shows their disingenuity and their two-facedness. Also, I did feel like it was a bit of a big dick move to bring in like because all these liberals and conservatives obviously love military people, that's a given, but liberals, especially in the last 2 decades, they've become this obsessed with veterans and military people and oh my god,
especially
he's a
people
real
who
hero.
like had issues with Trump, which he fits into that as well.
That's the last that's the last 4 years, but that's like just supercharges you. John Kelly, be our hero. McMaster, be our hero. So but again, I think the best argument, it was probably best argument for freedom of speech, because when you see, that's why I want the freedom of speech. You want these idiots to come in. You want to, first of all, it's demystifying because General McMaster is usually in his uniform. Here he shows up in a shitty Hawaiian shirt or blouse, whatever, and he's just, I mean, he can't hide it. He's a complete dimwit. He's just, either he's playing the role of a dimwit very well, but he's complete idiot, just like most of the top brass are. So, I think just like that's the best thing about free speech. You get to know the crazy people. So I think it was great. It was demystifying, although I found Joe Rogan's attitude towards him to be way too reverential and annoying.
Every now and then he does that with some people. Where like
he
holds them up
people.
here.
And Peterson, that interview with Peterson was super annoying because he was like, would you mind telling the young people about some of the horrors of the Soviet Union? This guy doesn't know Soviet Union if it like hit him in the face.
Or Elon Musk, oh my god. So wait, Elon,
that's what I thought he was making fun. I didn't watch
breakfast and lunch and dinner. You fit it all in one day. Wow. Where'd you get so much time? Amazing.
Elon, so are you a genius or are you a genius like action hero type figure? What kind of... I don't know. I didn't watch that too much.
But let's come to Joe Rogan's defense now, once again. Which
I was defending him.
Oh, we were defending him, hating on him. No, I said again. Which is... he joined, I mean, and shit over TYT a little bit, just called them a few bad words. Anna Kasparian and John Iroli. So Joe Rogan himself, credit to him, he's sitting with Tim Dillon and he's like, this other social media outlet that I joined, like Getter, they're complete, they're complete frauds. They're making it seem like every follower of mine on Twitter is also my follower on Getter. get her, but it's impossible because they have like less people in total subscribed to their service.
Man, that's why people like him. Even people like me that disagree with him. He just honestly threw the whole company under the bus.
Which good. So you would think someone like Anna Kasparian and John Ladarola would appreciate that, and give him the credit that is due there. Quickly realize that, hey, I thought these people would be good, but they'll probably be worse than Twitter. There's a good chance, but no, they just take that opportunity to be condescending, pathetic, hypocritical, patronizing. I mean, anything else that you can find. And,
envious.
Yeah, and so bad. And then the John Ladarola guy, he's like, what if aliens were watching us and they see that that's what I mean by the envy. #1 podcast in the world? Well, yeah, it makes sense. He has a relatively mainstreamish podcast that's like, you can listen and it's chilled. It's not like super academic. It's not super niche. So a lot of people can listen to it. Yeah.
Sorry, excuse us. We all don't read Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing with your time? Yeah. If you guys read anything interesting, TYT would be far more interesting and like intellectually engaging. Yeah. But it's not. Can you imagine? And they're like, who listens to these two, Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan, the show who just lines up stand-up comedians as their guest, as their host. That's all they do. And they used to specialize in talking shit about women and their parts and all that. I mean,
no, they are. We're gonna take reading list suggestions from Anna Kasparian and John Hyde. The level of arrogance and condescension. Again, I do have the same level of arrogance and condescension. Sometimes I feel so. But I don't have the same level of envy. They feel so pathetically like you should do your own thing, even if you like. If you're like me, arrogantly believe in your own bullshit, you should at least keep it to yourself and try to, not. I don't know. It felt, it was sad. It was just sad. Yeah. And by the way, I don't care what aliens think of us. I'm very proud. I watch shitty movies, a lot of stupid action films. And stuff. I don't care if aliens find out John Wick sold a lot.
No, they're so full of themselves. It's unreal.